Okay, hello everybody, my name is Colossus Slayer, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last video, we got to, let's see, what did we do? Oh, okay, we got out of the Tower of Ishal, and now we're at Flemeth's place. Okay, anyway, I ended the last video, because my laptop was going to die on me. Otherwise, I would have continued to load the rig, then ended it there, like I said. Anyway,
What do you need?
Talk to Alistair again.
Ask away.
Okay. I think I already.
Such as they are.
Yeah, okay, I already asked you that.
What do you need? Ask away.
Okay, what can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
Okay, have you hunted many mages?
No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I took my vows. I was only present during one harrowing, the ritual that they test the mages with. It's not unlike our joining, really, and just as deadly. The girl they tested, she had a demon put inside her to see if she could resist, and she couldn't. We had to end it quickly. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that.
Okay. So Templars use magic themselves.
You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit.
So couldn't others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see, which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
So the Chantry controls the Templars, alright. That's horrible. I can't believe they would do that.
Well, they do it, and they feel perfectly justified.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective.
Oh.
So I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
Okay. Approval +1. Went up a point. Yay.
What do you need?
Okay, talk to you
Ask
again. Can you teach others to be a Templar?
I suppose I could, but I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
You don't think this is important?
Of course I do. It's just, I don't think you necessarily need Templar secrets to defeat the Darkspawn.
Okay.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Okay.
What do you need? Ask away.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you again.
I already said I wouldn't. The answer is still no.
Okay.
What do you need?
Okay.
Ask away.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Mmm. I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
Mm. Do all Templars make these jokes, or just you?
Oh, you know, between all the guilt and the hours spent in solemn prayer, any good Templar or priest is just bursting to tell a few good jokes when the opportunity arises.
Hmm.
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I do really want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Enjoyed hunting mages, did you?
No, I never got that far. I mostly learned about discipline and training my mind to use the abilities that Templars have. It was difficult but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
My home was taken over by Earl Howe.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is, well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good, either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now. What do you need?
Okay.
Ask away.
Okay. Okay, now talk to Flemeth.
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
No. Okay. You could come with us, you know.
Oh, I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves.
And what has the world done to you?
That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere.
Okay. You're more powerful than we are. That is true.
It is not a matter of power. No one person in all of Thedas has enough power to stand against a Blight. Were that the case, sending you two would be quite the jest. What is important is that you are both Grey Wardens. Your task is to unite the land, inspire its men, and turn them from their petty politics to face the archdemon. In that, you are more powerful than I by far. I am but an old woman whom the world has largely forgotten.
Okay, and for some reason it goes back to what has the world done to you question. Okay, could you answer some questions?
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action. Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat. Have you not left yet? Questions. Th-
Come on, there we go. I have a feeling this is one of those. I ask her one question and then
Have
all
you
of
not
the
left
other
yet?
ones
Questions. One would think a
disappear.
Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
What will you do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once. I hear the peace of the great is eternal. This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. Ah, may your child one day treat you the same. Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
How long have you lived in the wilds?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. Ah, you may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
You don't seem happy about that.
I am not, nor was I then. It dictated all that followed. But enough. You have your task to complete.
Can I ask about your magic?
What good would it do you? You are no mage. It is sufficient that I have passed on my knowledge to Morrigan, and I pass her on to you. Like a worn dress or an old pair of shoes. Are you still here? You cannot give them away, apparently.
Okay, do you have any advice?
About the Darkspawn?
Oh, okay, so I can answer three things. Alright, about anything really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels. Then, have you not left yet? Questions.
Okay. I gotta load back the thing and ask her the other one. I'm curious about what she says about the wilds now.
Have you not left yet? Questions.
Any
About the
advice?
Darkspawn?
Wondering about the wilds.
Other than Darkspawn, the forest denizens will not give you much trouble. Morrigan will see you through it.
Okay.
Then
Okay, load it again.
have you not left yet? Questions. What?
Magic.
Are you still here?
We lived in the wilds. Since I'm happy about that. What are you doing if you're gone?
Feed me, she says.
You have any
About the
advice?
Darkspawn?
Yes.
Only that they are more cunning than they appear.
Okay.
More important by far is the Archdemon. It is the core of this taint, and while it lives, so does the Blight. This Terlogain is different. You must deal with the repercussions of his deeds before you can face the Archdemon, unless it finds you first.
Okay,
Then
got
we
no
are
more
done.
questions. Okay, now we can finally leave. Also, I looked it up, and apparently this is the 5th blight that's happened to Ferelden. And apparently this is the first game in the series, I think, so I don't think they made games that had the previous ones, which kind of suck because I would like to play those. More info. What? Oh, okay. Flemeth Hut, the hidden home of the infamous Witch of the Wilds. Okay. Redcliffe Village, fishing village on the shores of Lake Calenhad. Cliff Castle, fortress high above the village, the home of all Eamon Guren. I don't know how to say it. Sculptures Pass. Although the route is more treacherous than Gerland's Pass to the north, Sculptures Pass can shave more than 2 days travel off the journey to Orlais. Okay, I think that's a DLC thing. Okay, Frostback Mountains, a range of dramatic peaks that stretch across western Ferelden, forming a natural border with Orlais. Circle Tower, rising out of the middle of Lake Calenhad, this tower is the home of Ferelden's Circle of Magi. The Calenhad Docks, sitting in the shadows of an old Imperial highway, these docks are now the only means to reach the tower. Basilian outskirts. Okay. The edge of the Basilian forest, the dangers of which are well recorded in local legends. Kokiri Wilds, the savage wetlands of the south. This wilderness is the source of the darkspawn blight. Okay, Ostagar. A ruined fortress, Ostagar has stood since the time of the ancient Tevinter Imperium. Alright. Party camp. The current party campsite. Now. Okay, Denmarang. Ferelden's largest city and main port, it is also the location of the royal palace. And Lothering or Lothering? I don't know. I'm gonna call it Lothering. A small town just off the Imperial Highway at the edge of the hinterlands. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go, I guess. Oh, Denerim, alright.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Anora's regent and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you.
The Banon will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Bantheathen, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantheathen, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, your Majesty?
Okay. Seems weird.
Wake up, gentlemen. More travelers to attend to. I guess that fellow is the leader.
They don't look much like their mothers, you know. Maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travellers.
Highwaymen preying on those fleeing the Darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
Now, is that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers and you're free to move on.
You should listen to your friend. We're not refugees.
What could I tell you? No wagons, and this one looks armed.
The toll applies to everyone, Henrik. That's why it's a toll, and not, say, a refugee tax.
Oh, right. Even if you're no refugee, you still gotta pay.
You still gotta pay. Oh, I'm a dummy. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, you're toll collectors then.
Indeed, for the upkeep of the Imperial Highway. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Okay, you're fixing the highway? I think not.
Not much gets past you, I see.
It's not really a toll. We're just robbing you, see?
Ah,
Do shut up. Even a Genlock would have understood that.
I'm not paying.
Well, I can't say I'm pleased to hear that. We have rules, you know.
Right. We get to ransack your corpse then. Those are the rules.
Do you really want to fight the Grey Warden?
Did he say he's a Grey Warden? Them ones killed the king.
Traitors to Ferelden, I hear. Tern Loghain put quite a bounty on any who are found.
But aren't them Grey Wardens good? I mean, really good? Good enough to kill a king?
You have a point. Well, let's forget about the toll. We'll just leave you to your Darkspawn fighting, king-killing ways.
You know, the Grey Wardens could use a donation.
You don't say.
He is really good, boss. Remember?
Well, yes. 20 silvers? That's all we've collected today.
Not good enough, I'm afraid.
And just when we had things settled.
Enemies approaching.
Okay, I get to kill you now.
On it. It's done. Right. This should be easy enough. On it.
All right, we surrender. We're just trying to get by before the Darkspawn get us all.
The shoddy operation is pathetic. I could do better.
Right. I guess so. I'm sorry.
Okay. I want some questions answered. No, hand over everything you've stolen.
Yes, of course. The coins we've collected are right here. Just over 100 silvers. The rest is in the chest we brought. I swear.
I want some questions answered.
Well, what can I tell you? We aren't even from these parts.
Okay. Have you heard about any survivors from the battle?
Couple, maybe. A group of wounded ash warriors came by earlier. Got right out of their way.
Okay, what exactly have you been doing?
Well, watching for folks fleeing from the south. Chasing from the wilds and farmholders, mostly. There aren't soldiers here anymore, so we help ourselves. We try not to hurt anyone too much.
What news have you heard?
Everyone's saying how the Grey Wardens betrayed the king during the Darkspawn fight. Got him and themselves killed. Tern Loghain pulled out just in time. First thing he's doing as regent is putting a bounty on Grey Wardens.
I see, okay. What's going on in Lothering?
It's packed full. The band took his men north with Tairn Loghain, so there's no one looking out for it except a few Templars at the Chantry. Well, I was just trying to feed my family, you know?
I'm done asking questions.
Well, then let me go.
You know, I could use some soldiers.
What, are you joking, right? I could never be a soldier.
Or you can die. Your choice.
I'm not going down without a fight.
Okay. If I'm dying, you're back.
This should be easy enough.
Next note. Crumpled note is written by Sir Henrik, Knight of Redcliffe, Codex. Oh. Fallen Templar. Knight's Locket. This golden locket bears within it a tiny painting of a pretty brown-haired young woman. It is impossible to tell who the woman might be, but whoever owned the locket was quite fond of her. Alright, I'll take that, I guess. Think I can sell it or something. And since Wern, what the heck is this? Small lumps of curious resin. They can be burned to release fragrant smoke. Oh. Okay. Oh, there we go. Nice arrow trap trigger. Okay. Documents. List of household accounts and expenditures over time. Useful for merchants negotiating contracts and wages. Okay. I still keep going in the wrong button. Oh yeah, that's right, I got her now. Alright, let's see. Two magic. Get rid of those chastened robes. Ooh. China's footing. Not resilience. That's stupid. Circle towers are frequently drafty. The senior enchanters distribute these to apprentices in the winter where they come by the cowls. However, it is a mystery. Okay, don't need that. Enchanter's arming cap. Simple and effective, though certainly not standard equipment. Reserved for circle of major operations under full supervision of the Chantry, so much as they are aware. That looks even more stupid. Alright, skill to construct such objects of everyday utility to the enchanter is as rare today as the will to defy the Chantry. Okay, Morgan's robes. Morgan appears to have assembled this outfit from scraps of clothing salvaged from the chastened folk. It is adorned with glossy feathers and colored stones that she probably found in the wilds. 2 magic, 10 cold resistance, or 6 defense. Chastened robes. Get rid of those. Pieced together from a ragged strips of leather and adorned with teeth and bones of animals, this robe is thoroughly frightful. It also smells strongly of tanned hides and sweat. Yuck. Ooh, this is... Where did I pick this up from again? This robe was stored for centuries in the Circle Tower's repository. Ow. Rotary on the lining of the left sleeve marked this as having been a gift from Archon Valoruse to a cherished friend.
Here.
Darkspawn staff. A strange pole infused with blood and covered in small bones and darkspawn totems. The staff has been corrupted and tarnished by the touch of its former wielder. What does this look like? Looks weird. Magic staff. This is a standard mage's staff infused with lyrium by the Tranquil to increase its sturdiness and provide a conduit for a mage's power. With it, the mage can fire bolts of energy at range. What does this look like? Doesn't look good either. Piece of wood. A twisted length of wood carved with strange symbols. Okay, equip that. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right, and give the gifts to people now. Let's see, what do you like? You like bones and stuff, so this maybe? Save before I give it to her, just in case it makes her angry.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Okay, I made her happy, yay. Alright. Good. Okay. She like this?
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Okay, so she likes jewelry and other stuff. Actually, I'm probably going to use this again. So, one of those out. That out. Probably. Scale armor. Perks +4. Save again. Okay, I wanted to do. Talk to. Thank you. Wags the tail happily. Okay, do you see anything interesting? No. Okay.
What do you need? Ask away.
Just
What do you need?
now.
Ask away. Such as they are.
Okay, you don't
What do
have
you need?
anything else to say. What about you?
What do you wish of me?
Ask you
If you must.
something? Oh, okay, there's a lot of stuff here to talk to you about. Alright. Save just so I don't make you angry if I pick the wrong choice.
What do you wish of me? If you
Talk.
must.
How did you become a shape
I
changer?
was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
I don't know what a chastened person is. That does sound like something you do. Hopefully this doesn't make you angry.
Oh, I truly doubt that children would be worth the effort. They are filthy, smelly things full of tears and snot and trouble. That said, I cannot speak for the tastes of my mother. She has, after all, lived a very lengthy time in the wilds and done many things I know nothing of. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Okay, I don't think I made her angry, which is good. See if I can keep it going. Let's see. Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents.
I can't.
If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
Okay. Do you change in other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Okay. Do you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
Okay. What do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
That sucks. Okay, I've never heard of magic like that before.
No, 'tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the Chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Such traditions need to be preserved. This might make you happy, I think.
I am surprised you think so. Still, 'tis a pleasant thing to hear.
Okay, good. It did make you happy, I think. That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
Hmm. Ooh. Hmm. She might like this and she might be creeped out about it. I'll say it anyway.
I wouldn't advise it. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Okay, she still approves +5, so that's good. I think. Okay.
What do you wish
Talk
of
to
me?
you again.
If you must.
Can you teach others to become shape changers?
I cannot teach you, no. But any other mages that cared to learn, yes, I could do that. Send whoever you wish my way, and I shall teach them what I can in the camp, provided they possess the will to even make the attempt.
Okay. Didn't get anything for that. It kind of sucks.
What do you wish of me? If
Ask
you
you
must.
something. Did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Okay. I think I made her angry. Crap. Pick this one.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
Okay. But you kept going back to the wilds.
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hailed from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Okay. Very daring. Kind of sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally he was arrested.
Okay, so she laughed. That's good, I think. Okay, that was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Oh, okay. Handshake.
At least with that sort of touching, I would have been able to intuit the intent with far greater ease. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. Still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Well, I'm glad it worked out this way at least, because I have a mage on my team now. That's good.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat in the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Ooh. +8. What skill did she just get? Where? Wait, what? Wait. Plot. Oh. Minor magic. Inspired by your leadership as party members gain a minor bonus to magic. Oh, okay, so if I be nice to everybody, then they get, like, free upgrades. That's cool. Okay. Save again.
Yes?
Okay.
So, full of questions, are you?
Ah, okay, so she likes me a little bit now. That's good. Okay, have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
Ah, okay, well, it's working and being nice to her. And you're cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I'm being nice to her, and she's hitting on me. Alright, I guess. Let's see. Fun? You found it fun?
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was happening.
Ah, okay.
Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Surely more would have followed then.
Sometimes, eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Okay. They got what they deserved.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true, still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Okay. Okay, now, what is gonna make her happy? Hopefully this doesn't make her angry.
Oh, I hope you're not simply being agreeable.
Okay, good.
It would be a refreshing change.
Okay.
Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Okay, it made her happy. That's good. I don't want to make her angry at me. Okay, save again and talk to her again.
Yes?
Okay, to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A woman yeah, she does seem a little bit crazy, so a nutty old bat.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the Chasens still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I don't know what a chastened is, so I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting, alright.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Okay, I've heard that part.
The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conobar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conobar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conobar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Mmm. Okay. Seems like a fair deal.
Aye, it was. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement in the first place.
Okay, good.
All would have been well had
Okay.
Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess.
Ah,
Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
I'm just guessing at all of this talking and stuff. So she truly loved Osen then?
That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him.
Ah,
Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see, chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
mmm. Which? She never invaded or she never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac.
Ah,
Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Okay. The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters. Okay, apparently it does. I didn't know that.
You ask if I have sisters.
Yeah, that.
I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds, after all, not just the one, and these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed, so should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Ah, why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They
Ah,
say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts.
eh.
May be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
You said that so calmly, I am worried about your sanity now. She said that really calmly. Ew. Okay, how's it that Flemeth has survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Okay. Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Often it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Okay, this might make her angry, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Aren't abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery, I suspect, even to her.
An interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
I love her. What else do you want to know?
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters not. Let us move on.
She's also dead. Poor Queen Kuz. I don't even remember her name. It's not good. Okay. Alright, let's
Yes?
talk to you again. Let's
So,
see.
full of questions, are you?
Tell me, are you really Flemeth's daughter?
I assume you are actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me.
Yeah, that.
Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. It is not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
You have a lot to talk about. Okay. I'm not gonna say this because that'll make her angry. She was not always as old as she is now, was she?
As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another, and Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
Okay. Does that mean you love her?
What an odd thing to say. Why must love enter into the equation? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn: how to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
I see. Okay. I suppose that's true. I'm just saying this okay, what's gonna make her happy? I suppose agreeing with her?
You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. Take yourself. You do not honestly desire such things from me, do you? 'Tis better to be free of such cloying and cluttering delusions as love.
I'm gonna agree with her to make her happy.
There. I am glad you agree. I tire of this discussion. Let us move on, shall we?
Okay, 12, wow. Okay. Save again and talk to you hopefully for the last time.
Hmm?
Okay, that's different.
So, full of...
Okay.
Hmm?
So life in the wild must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
For a time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments, the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
Ah. Okay, I can't imagine Flemeth was pleased.
She was not.
Okay, I got the right one.
Furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground.
Oh.
I was heartbroken.
Oh, that sucks. This one, Flemeth was right, no doubt.
Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
You're starting to sound like Ganondorf now. Power this, power that, power this. Okay. They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed.
Okay,
To return
good.
to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Okay, made her happy again. That's good. Okay. Talk to you again.
So,
Let's get something. Okay, finally done talking to Morgan. That took a long time. Wow. Okay.
There it is. Lothering. Pretty as a painting.
Should have done this one first.
so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing?
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked.
What did you want to talk about, Alistair?
His navel, I suspect. He certainly has been contemplating it for long enough.
Oh, I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
Well, considering they have potions that make you more aware and make you get up after you die, I think there's a potion that can increase intelligence if you drink it. I'm not sure though. I need to look for Fergus. He might still be alive.
He was out scouting in the wilds, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's what the king said.
Then attempting to look for him there would be foolish. He is either dead or he managed to flee to the north.
Very sensitive.
I am simply saying that it is foolish to mount a rescue when you have no notion where this man is and the wilds are overrun with darkspawn? You will either find him somewhere outside the wilds with other survivors, or not at all.
Okay. That was mean. That doesn't mean I shouldn't look for him.
That's exactly what it means. If you
Ugh.
wish to do this brother of yours a service, avenge him. The time to look for survivors will come later.
I think what Flemeth suggested is the best idea. These treaties, have you looked at them?
Yes.
There are three main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi. I also still think that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
Okay. Is there a way to contact the Grey Wardens?
Short of leaving Ferelden to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. And that's thousands of miles away.
Ugh. Okay. Why? What do you think we should do, Morgan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Loghain and kill him. The rest of this business with the treaties can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience and...
I was asked for my opinion and I gave it. If your wish is to come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the Darkspawn are upon us.
Okay. Why are you leaving it up to me?
Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Arleman is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it.
Okay, I'm not sure any of this is a good idea.
I'm not sure I like any of it either, but we don't have a lot of choice in the matter.
Of course you have a choice. You could run and forget about it all. Let the Darkspawn do as they wish until other Grey Wardens come. If they come.
That's what you call a choice?
It may not be a good choice, but it's a choice nevertheless. We all choose our path, even when it seems there is only one direction we should go.
How enlightening. At any rate, I'll stay with you whatever you decide.
Okay, we need to find these people.
I can give you directions if you like.
Okay, where would Loghain be exactly?
If he isn't out in the field with his army, he's probably going to be at the palace in Denerim. We can go to Denerim, but somehow I suspect that they're not going to let us just walk around. Only a suspicion, of course.
Okay, where do we find the Circle of Magi?
That will be at their tower on Lake Kalanhard to the north. We'll be looking for the first enchanter, whoever that is.
Okay, where do we find the dwarves?
We would need to speak to their king in Orzammar. That means heading west into the Frostback Mountains, which won't be easy.
Okay, where do we find the Dalish elves?
If we head eastward towards the Basilian Forest, we should hear word of one of the clans that wanders that area. Hopefully they will still be there.
Okay, where do we find all Eamon?
He'll be at Castle Redcliffe, in the far western part of Ferelden, next to the mountain passes. If he isn't there, someone will be able to tell us where he is.
Okay, I don't need any more directions.
Then you have a plan.
I'm ready to get going.
Fair enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
Okay, saving. I'll just talk to you again just to make sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to discuss something
We are
personal.
hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
What do I have to do to get on your good side? Oh.
You are already on my good side, such as it is.
Oh.
Or do you seek something else? Something more intimate?
Oh. Okay.
Oh, good to know that. Let me see. I would expect favor to come with a price. Perhaps you would be willing to pay a compliment. Is that too much?
Okay, I am brilliant and amazing.
I suppose I did not specify that I wanted it myself, did I? Very well, then. You are on my good side. Best watch your step that you don't fall off.
Okay.
Hmm? We are hardly alone, so
So,
privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
oh, I can kiss her. Alright, let's try this.
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Okay. I'm just gonna get humor me.
Oh, it's humor you desire. Hmm? I didn't realize comedy had anything to do with this.
This one.
How true. Let us do it right, then.
Oh, okay. Well, she liked that, apparently. Alright. I did not know I could do that. That's kind of cool. Okay, save again. Okay. One more time. There we go. Okay. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. And also, something really quick. If you guys know what I can do to make these videos like better or something, just write it down in the comment section of this video, and I'll look at it. And anyway, see you on the next video. Bye.